because you bring your relative up and down from here past the middle to here, and then there's a reality breakdown because everyone's upside down, but you brought your relative up and down from here down to here, and now it's like we're in crazy town.
Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Well, we have a good one for you. I've been courting this individual named Rad Vlad for a few weeks. He managed to get Discord installed finally, with the help of someone, I don't know. It was like his daughter's friend, or I'm not sure. Now, I've been waiting to do a video on him out of respect for him, since he wanted to debate me and I wanted to debate him. I figured the ridicule could wait for another occasion. Well, it's taking a while to line up our schedules, and in that time he keeps posting some stupid all over his channel, and it's just glorious stuff, people. It's moments like this that I really look forward to my face reveal, so you can see all the joy in my eyes when I show you these kinds of things. Oh, that said, I'm about to cross 3K, and probably have by the time this video drops. If you have found yourself back here again, and you want to see some more, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and give that bell a little jingle while you're at it, because that's how YouTube knows you want to know. Now, in a short time, Mr. Vlad here has posted some remarkable stuff. I feel it's our duty to go through this together and rip the shit out of it. Vlad, I still want to debate you, and I'm sorry about this in advance, but
I did a video last week that brought about some nice discussion and debate in the comment section. And what I did there was similar to here. I draw a globe. The circle represents the sphere. And instead of this guy in the elevator with people standing around, I had people standing around, but a helicopter with some pilot and passenger. And they drop down into this tunnel. So this would be like a concrete tunnel that goes through the whole earth from top to bottom. And it would be insulated with concrete so that whatever heat may be here around the middle would not affect the people inside. So we neutralize the heat, and you got to use your imagination. If we could drill a tunnel through the whole earth from the top to the bottom, how would that work? And it's a problem because you bring your relative up and down from here past the middle to here, and then there's a reality breakdown because everyone's upside down, but you brought your relative up and down from here down to here, and now it's like we're in crazy town.
ah, who remembers Crazy Town?
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar.
Good stuff. But with Vlad here, I mean, okay, so this is easy to make it a bit more sense for you. There is no such thing as up or down for people looking at our Earth from not within its influence. However, when you are on the surface of the source of the gravitational pull, your relative up and down becomes totally dependent on where the gravity is. Okay, I can see you wincing in pain, Vlad, and it hurts me that thinking hurts you. So I'm going to try something even simpler for you. Ta-da! You see, up and down are relative. Now you're walking around on your hands while others stare at the odd man that's wandering around on his hands with his feet all the way up in the air. Oh, it's Vlad!
So people want to hold on to the globe, say, well, it would flip here. Why would it flip? Does center of mass know what's upside down or right side up? Does gravity know? Is this pencil upside down or right side up? Or sideways? It doesn't know.
Actually, Vlad, the answer to that is yes. Like, in every direction that you pointed, yes. The answer is just yes. Is that right side up? Is this right? Yes, depending on which person you are around that globe.
Oh, that's an abstract concept we understand in our minds. But rocks don't get that, really.
Vlad here's talking shit about rocks. Meanwhile, he fits a lot of the same description. Are you sure you're not a rock?
They're rocks.
You are a sight for sore eyes.
He's crazy.
Or they would say that, the helicopter would drop down to the center and then be pulled back up because of gravity. How? There's nothing to pull it up. You're in a tunnel with just air. I took away your center of mass. I mean, there would be a central mass around the outside of that tunnel, but gravity pulls straight down to the middle. So if what's straight up above you and straight below you is just an empty tunnel, you have nowhere for gravity to pull you, or so to pull you down towards the center or to pull you back up towards it if you pass it. There's nothing there.
Okay, so first of all, we need to address scale here. This tunnel you have swathed across the planet here is, by all rights, about 2,000 kilometers across or more. And yet again, you seem to fail to think in 3 dimensions because somehow you think you've sliced the planet in half like some sort of Death Star and there's no other, like if you take that thing and turn it sideways, like if you rotate it, you got a whole other part of planet there. So, I mean, your tiny little burrow hole through the center is not going to do much, buddy.
Right, buddy? I'm not your buddy, friend. He's not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. He's not your buddy, friend. I'm not your friend, guy.
This leaves our theory of gravity and our model firmly intact, regardless of you disagreeing there, Vladdy Poo. First, this tunnel is incorrect in scale. If we were talking about a helicopter-thick hole here, we need to do something a bit more like this. And even then, I'm being generous to you. So assuming you fall along this line and past the blue line that we will call the center, it might be a bit off, but you get the general idea. Well, as you pass by the middle, and the larger portion of mass is now above you, let's say, you begin to be slowed, and the further you go, the more mass there would be below you, and it would begin to pull you back eventually. And yes, gravity does pull in straight lines, but as you can see, it's generally pulling you up. Those separate pulls in different directions would cancel each other out because they are equal on both sides, leaving only one direction of pull, and it is towards the center. That's why we can take this last one and do this with it. Look, the mass is below them, pulling them down. It doesn't matter if there's a tiny hole. Through the massive planet, you aren't removing enough matter to, matter.
We build an elevator shaft. So a guy goes in the top and he's dropping down past the middle. He's going to come out the other side, like this. So you got a problem there.
No issue here. As I explained, your tiny, barely seeable shaft in the huge planet wouldn't matter for gravity at all. You wouldn't be removing enough matter for it to change gravity and its effects with this huge planet you're sitting on, Vlad. So it's more likely that you'd be ass over tea kettle when that elevator started pulling you back up the other side, away from the center of mass and gravity. Come on, Vlad, is this all you got, buddy? I'm having a great time. You're adorable.
If you dropped a ball in or jumped into a tunnel, you would kind of just keep bouncing back and forth. You pass the center with speed. You have some inertia going, but then you get pulled back. Pulled back by what? Air in a tunnel?
Gravity, you Gravity! Have you ever heard of gravity? Gravity! Gravity! Now I need a cigarette.
Or they if they still want to, this is what I'm glad I remembered. If they still want to insist that you're going to be pulled back towards the center, then you have to believe that gravity pulls at an angle. Then it'd be like let's say he was here. The gravity on the side of where the land is would have to get him back up here, or we'd have to pull him back to the middle, and it doesn't work like that. We're told gravity pulls straight in a straight line to the middle. It'd have to change the angle and of how it pulls, and that's not the way we're told it works. So you can't change the rules to try to make an argument.
I already told you, your holes are tiny. And besides, it doesn't need to bend gravity. See, math is fun and it answers these things. Because the pull from each side is equal, they cancel each other out and leave only one direction of pull. It's to the center. You've bored me. Let's move on to another one where Vlad has totally misunderstood the diagram he is being shown and what it means to the reader. He seems to think it's some sort of gotcha moment, but it's hilarious that he does. So let's take a look.
I want to hear another peep from you guys. This is clear as day. I see it, but I think I'm not explaining it well. You guys either aren't getting it or you're being dishonest. You know, whatever. But as I was, like I said, preparing to do this, I noticed over here there's some writing. I've never read it before.
See, I already knew Vlad could read, and I'm glad to see that he can. This really fills me with joy because we spent a lot of time teaching Vlad to read.
We were hanging out down at the swimming pool. Hanging out. Hanging.
I had this image for a while because these things are just kind of boring, man. I can't focus on it because I get enough from this picture. I'm a very visual person, and you know, but sometimes I have to read too, you know.
Okay, yeah, Vlad, sorry, buddy. Sometimes you gotta read a little.
When I read this to you guys, these words will expose the tongue of the serpent that's lying to us, lying to everybody in the world about where we live, the physical properties of our world. Because whoever wrote this knows that this is bullshit, and they word it in a funny way to kind of throw you off so you don't see. It's like a smoke and mirrors. It's like when a magician does a magic trick, he's got you looking at one hand while he's tricking you with the other. So look at this, man. It says every hour the observer's angle to the sun changes by 15 degrees. Even though the observer is initially traveling more towards the sun, that lateral to it. Remember that. There's a typo right there. That typo is on purpose to confuse you. It's supposed to say,
Oh, come on, Vlad. This also reinforces that you just don't read ever. Typos are in everything. There's typos in news articles. There's typos in baking recipes. There's typos in every textbook out there because they're just put together by a bunch of monkeys that are transcribing from one page to another. Actually, doesn't JM Truth make frickin' textbooks and stuff? This makes way more sense. JM Truth definitely wrote this. That's why there's so many typos.
then, the word then instead of that. Even though the observer is initially traveling more towards the sun than lateral to it, it's their angle of rotation which determines how much the sun appears to rise in the sky. A 15-degree tilt of the horizon each hour causes a 15-degree rise of the sun. So these lines and these lines. And so it works in the morning. The horizon is here, and our head is pointed at the horizon, and we see the distant sun far off. But as we rotate here, the horizon is here. Why are his eyes there? And then they kind of throw you, they keep adding 15 degrees to this angle and to make it all work, you know, and it gets confusing if you want to look at it as a math equation in numbers. But if you're just looking at it as an image and understanding how we ride the globe.
Wait a minute. How the f*** is that confusing as a math problem? It's 15. It's plus 15. Oh my God. It is. I don't even know where to go from here. Do you see how it's 45 and then 60 and then 75? Like that's plus 15, plus 15, plus 15. This is not a complicated math problem, sir.
And how our position is when we're looking at the sun, you see that it's not like this. Our head is angled directly up, like an extreme angle, straight up. Here we're like looking with our chin close to our chest, looking straight out ahead. Here we tilt a little bit, start tilting a little bit up. Next hour, a little bit more. Next hour, a little more. And then we start getting more of an extreme angle up. And that's where the problem lies, because if it takes you 1 hour to go from here to here, within that same hour, the sun's only moved this much. It's only risen that much from the horizon. They're telling you right there in their own writing. And your head is only tilted up just a little. Whereas here, in 1 hour, look how much it rose from here to here. In the same hour, you went from here to here. You rose a lot more. See, they...
Oh, Vlad, poor guy. He is failing to use this right, and maybe that's because he doesn't like to read or he takes too much stock in typos. Either way, that was great. It really made my day. See, Vlad, as you rotate, your angle of view changes. The reason it shows you looking straight out is because who the f walks around with their head cranked in the air?
What? What is it?
The sky.
Sky? Where?
Up there.
I don't see anything.
Just look.
What is it?
They are trying to make it simple for you dullards so you can appreciate where the sun is relative to you. And you can see the angle to the sun only changes by 15 degrees per hour. They are simply trying to show you that no matter your position, the sun remains in the same place and your viewing angle to it changes by 15 degrees. Oh yeah, Vlad is stuck on the linear movement, and he doesn't appreciate that his trek across the globe isn't lateral movement enough to change his angle of view to the sun. Only the rotation, which changes your angular perspective, is what's changing that angle, Vlad. It's not your movement across. Well, that's enough for today. Vlad, come at me, bro. I'd love to discuss some of your, let's say ideas. If you are new here, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and also jingle that bell so you get notified. I want to put a big thanks out to my patrons that do a lot to support the channel and my young family. And if anyone wants to help support the channel, they can head over to Patreon and donate as little as $2. If not, I still appreciate you watching and hitting the like button. Without the viewers, it wouldn't be possible for me to have this awesome platform to talk to all of you from, and so thank you as always. Anyways, I'm out of here. Have a good night. Take it easy. Man, I'm gonna go check out, see if those holes do get better with age. I hope.